You're live. How's it going? I'm so excited. Awesome. My name is Dr. Sharnael Wolverton Sihon, and I'm here with Leslie Denise. How are you?
So fabulous.
Yay. We are here to discuss an online event that we are doing, and we're just really excited to talk about it. And it's about abundance. And I think that's a very necessary, actually important time and season for this topic. For me, um, with everything seeming to just continually escalate up, whether it's gas, food, all the things, and rent, insurance, all that stuff just is going. And what a better time for us to not only talk about abundance, but to get together and embody abundance and walk it out and be a co-creative vessel in a group of people, all with one focus. And I know you have some things to share about, kind of your perspective about this kind of group experiment, kind of teamwork group thing that we're doing. And I'd love to hear your side and your perspective, and go ahead and jump in.
I'm very excited about this. We keep calling it an experience and an experiment too, which I love because they've definitely proven that when the group of people get together, when I think was it 8 or more? Is that right, Sharnael? I think
Yeah.
it's the key number is usually around 8. And something about that group consciousness exceeding past and everybody believing for the same thing actually propels it. It propels it forward. It propels it brings it closer into that reality. And, so many times, like everyone look at scripture, we're in this world, but we're not of it. And it's really learning to operate off of those principles. It doesn't mean, and that scripture doesn't mean the world is a separate group of people. Like the world are not like the people of the street, but you're the church people. It's actually physical 3D versus other dimensions. And that's kind of what we're bringing in here is really what does that mean? And how do we do that? And how do we live that? Because it has to come from within in the nervous system. The nervous system and the energy system really have to be in that one accord. And so I'm very excited because when you do this with a group, it just propels it forward and gives it even more momentum. So it's going to be good.
Yes, when we were talking about this in the first beginning part, that 8-person focus group or whatever. I mean, hopefully we're going to have more than that. I mean, the more the merrier. But for us, I was really looking at like a conscious collective effort on really doing some daily things, like to have that miracle outcome that we're looking for. And when no matter what's going on around, we can be at the top of things, and we can be the one at the head and not the tail, if you want to say so. There is a book that Lynn McTaggart came up with, where she had these focus groups, multiple focus groups, where they would have 8 to a team with whatever focus in that. And I know John Paul Jackson, who I worked with for years, and I know you're extremely familiar with John Paul Streams Ministries. He always said, what you focus on, you make room for. And when we combine, when 2 or more in agreement, then yes, there is an amplification and there is a power in that co-creating type of situation. And I was just talking to Trish, and she was talking about how she was an athlete swimmer. And she was talking about this actual event that we're doing. And she was saying that she was looking at it like, she had a coach. And the coach would say, hey, you know what? You cannot learn to swim by reading a book. Sometimes you got to get in the water, and you got to understand little strokes here and there make a big difference, win or lose. And we want to get down to the little things. We want to get down to the thought processes, to what you're thinking about at night, to what you're feeling, what you're putting out there. I know a lot of people are freaked out and stressed because I talk to them all the time in my consultations. And one of the number one things is like money and stress, and it's causing problems in the marriage and work, and people in work positions that they don't want to be in anymore. They want to do something different. But I will say, abundance is not just about money. Abundance is also about health. It's
Yeah.
about resources. It's about my dog banging a ball against the wall over and over again while we're trying to talk. Sophie, I'm
That's
taking
funny.
this away for a second. So yes, it's there are things that we can do. And if you look at like the game of life, which that
Mhm.
book is like
Yeah.
major, or anything Neville, or some of the greats out there that have looked into abundance and actually walked it out.
Mhm.
She wrote that book in the middle of the Depression, Leslie. I mean, I don't know. I mean, book was in the 30s,
Yes.
right? And I mean, talk about the tools that she had, and they were creating like
Mhm.
crazy back then, like
Yep.
right out of poverty, like changing ancestral DNA into this whole new DNA that sends out a brand new radiation that what gets a match, because we only get what we are.
Yeah.
So we are the ones that get to change things up. And, speak into that a little bit.
One of the things about this is knowing yourself. And whenever you do, anytime I've ever worked with a coach and been in a group program and done all these things, I've done individual and group, there's an awareness level that kicks in into the nuances that you get to adjust and make the micro adjustments. And you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize I was doing that. And then you get to create from higher places. And what's really, in my experience, what I've watched is the more awareness that kicks in, the more I up level, because now I'm literally a consciously different person than even I was 2 weeks ago, because that level really shifted. And then once it kind of even starts in one area, you start noticing it in other areas, because they're principles. They're not even just, like you were saying, abundance is so much more than just even the financial part. There's moments that are so soul nourishing and abundant. And even finding and understanding and letting your heart expand into those absolutely can change the game. But the more that, what happens is, it feels like a little bit of work at first, and then it becomes your norm. It becomes your way of doing things. And you genuinely, in a matter of weeks or months, you're walking a different path from a different state, because you're a different version of yourself, and you're literally seeing different things happen in your life. And one thing I can also speak to is the quickness at which it happens when you're engaged with other people on it versus solo. And that I can speak for a testament to way more than I probably want to, because I've done it both ways.
Yeah.
And that is a really, really big deal. And until you've done it both ways, until you've really walked with a coach, walked with a group of people, and done this type of thing, you don't fully sometimes comprehend the quickness, the rate at which you move through things. And literally things, it's almost like you have these little pebbles all around you in your energetic field, and they just start getting sucked out, and it just cleans up and it cleans up and it cleans up. And you literally radiate at a different frequency.
Well, yeah, I agree. And you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Yeah.
I went through a divorce situation. Definitely didn't have Christmas tree, didn't have diapers, didn't have school uniforms or school supplies, had people donate to me on a regular, and it was a tough spot, right, at times with, electricity and water and all the things. And I know a lot of people are going through that even now with this season that we're in. But this is a time where we can actually put the rubber where it meets the road and do the things. And sometimes having an outside person to kind of look and maybe see where your blind spots are and tweak some things, whether it's mental or physical or emotional, or maybe our speech. So that accountability is a part of the piece that was really important for us to do, like a Zoom where we're looking at each other, talking to each other, having that experience. But also, one thing that we decided when we wanted to do this is we weren't going to just, you and I talk and someone listen and just be a one and done kind of deal. We wanted it to be a 3-week course where it's habitual, where it's a practice, where people are engaging and having some homework and things to do daily until it becomes normal. Like you said, like it's just a transforming of the mind, of the emotions, of the will, which is the thing that's really the utter of all of this, because no one can override that. And we can get there. And so I just wanted to do a quick little thing. We were actually going to launch this tomorrow, but we had some things come up, and we are moving it to the 31st of May. So the 31st of May, and we also changed the time because we had a lot of feedback about people having conflicts with the dates and the times. So we hear you, we listen, and we're moving it to 7 p.m. so people will be off of work and they can, still be with us. And we moved the dates so you guys had enough time to actually plot the dates on there, which is May 31st, June 7th, and June 14th, all at 7 o'clock. And so there'll be 2 times where we're teaching and having that like camaraderie exchange. And then we're going to do like a Q&A as well. We're going to have a private Facebook group for everybody in there. So we can maintain this conversation throughout the week, and or people can post their victories, their testimonials, or if they need support, we're there for Q&A or what have you. So there's a lot going into all of this, and I just want to make sure you guys are aware. This is going to be fun. This is going to be, I don't know. I've only done something similar with the Science and Miracles, and I kind of attribute it a little bit to, or compare it, I guess, to some of those kind of group settings that we've had before with that, except for literally this focus is abundance. So again, money, health, resources, there's a lot of things that abundance looks like, because gosh, if you're sick, it could be a full-time job. Believe me, I talk to people all day who just get run around to doctors with no answers, and testing and insurance and time and taking off of work. Look, let's look at your health. Let's look at your mindset. Let's look at, because those things can contribute to dis-ease as well. So if we can like do anything to support and to get like that train of thought of abundance, like everything comes my way, and only God, supports me. Only God sees me. Only God talks to me. Different decrees and different things that we can maybe plot in. And then again, homework and like journaling and different things that we're going to, be speaking about for people to do individually during this 3-week course. So it's going to be very interactive, very fun. Definitely have all the links and everything in the description. And we hope that you join us and that we can have some fun with this. Anything else you'd like to say before we pop off today?
Yes, I want to say relationships. I am super wildly passionate about relationships. And so we have this, that is part of this course as well, because relationships are they're everything. We're humans. We're plugged into, whether it's your intimate relationship, your partnership, your marriages, your friendship, your relationships at work, that is going to be a pillar of what we dive into and go through, because I get a lot of those messages. I have no friends. People don't understand me. This is happening with my spouse. I get a lot of that. And that's like, I tend to see a lot of that. And so really, how do we recreate those other areas when it involves other people without moving into the attempt to control them, right? And so that is going to be a part of this course too, because it's so plugged into the abundance of your heart is healthy relationships. So that's super well. I'm excited. I'm so excited.
I am too. And that's great. That's a good point. Partnership, whether it's kids, parents, friends, like relationships with man, woman, guy, girl, all that thing too. So yeah. So yeah, the description is in here. The links are in here. You guys jump on it, and we're super excited to have you. And we'll have more details coming up. You'll probably keep hearing about this for a little bit over the next few weeks. And that's about it for tonight. But we love you guys so much. And it's been a minute since I did anything live except for the show. So just hey and bye, and love you guys. And thanks, Leslie, for hopping on with me today.
Thank you. Love you.
All right. Talk soon. Bye, guys.